Beloved soul, pause for a moment and really breathe this in. A verdict has been reached in the heavens about your love story, and this time it is not a maybe, not a half answer, but a clear and final decision over your life. Someone's heart has made a choice after a long season of wrestling, praying, and asking, and that choice has your name written on it in heaven's ink. They did not choose you because of a fleeting feeling, a random emotion, or a late-night impulse, but through a slow, deliberate, holy process that heaven itself has confirmed again and again. Welcome to Angel Messages for You, where prophetic encouragement turns silent waiting into visible fulfillment, and where your late-night questions finally meet God's timing. If you have felt yourself shifting from "I hope this is real" to "somehow I just know this is God," then this message is not an accident. This is your divine alignment finding you in real time. As you listen, stay to the very end, because the same way a cliffhanger episode on your favorite series flips everything in the last 5 minutes, heaven often confirms everything right when you're about to click away. Before we go deeper, hit that subscribe button to Angel Messages for You so you don't miss the next word that ties all of this together for your heart. While you're here, if your spirit is already stirring, tap like as your quiet yes to heaven. And in the comments, boldly write, "I receive divine alignment," as a public declaration that you are ready for what God is doing. Your agreement is not just a comment. It is a spiritual response to a decision that has already been made in your favor. For those who feel led to sow into this prophetic journey, your super thanks becomes a key that helps this channel guide other hearts to the very moment where still waiting turns into finally here. Now prepare to rise higher in faith and expectation, because what you are about to hear is a detailed revelation of the choice that was made for you, and the sacred journey of becoming the answered prayer you were always destined to be. They did not choose quickly, casually, or carelessly the way people swipe through faces on a screen and move on. They did not just feel a spark and jump without thinking. No, they waited. They weighed every feeling. They brought their confusion and desire into prayer again and again. They asked heaven for clarity when their mind felt foggy. They cried when they were unsure, wrestling with fears, past pain, and what if I'm wrong. They battled their own thoughts, fought with insecurity, and kept going back to God saying, "Show me, please. I don't want to ruin this. Give me a sign." They did not stop at one sign either. They asked God for a sign and then asked again and again and again, because their heart knew this decision was not just about romance. It was about destiny. And do you know what happened in that place of honest uncertainty? God confirmed it. Heaven leaned in. Peace began to land in their spirit. In quiet, sacred moments, God whispered to them, It's you. It has been you. It will be you." That whisper did not feel like hype. It felt like home. Little by little, the noise calmed and the answer remained. So they made their choice, a bold choice, a holy choice, a heaven-approved decision that lines up with God's best, not just their emotions. They chose you. Since then, they can't stop thinking about what comes next. About conversations, about apologies, about new beginnings, about walking this out with honor. They are planning. They are watching. They are waiting on the green light from God because they don't want to step toward you in fear. They want to move in divine timing. And you? Deep down, you've been sensing it. You've heard their name in your spirit again, almost like a song you thought you forgot. You've seen small hints in your day-to-day life, little alignments, reminders, moments that feel too precise to be coincidence. You've dreamed of them again, and these dreams do not feel random, foolish, or obsessive. They feel like a gentle tug from heaven. This is not accident, this is alignment, this is prophetic rhythm, this is divine orchestration. The angels are moving around this story, heaven is rejoicing over what is coming, and your union has long been written in the heart of God. The love was promised. The connection was noticed by heaven long before you even had words for it. But this moment right now, the moment you are hearing this, is crucial because your heart needs preparation more than your mind needs more information. You cannot simply walk casually into this love as if it were any other connection. You must rise into it. You must grow into it. You must become what you were always meant to be. Their answered prayer, their partner in faith, their comfort after years of confusion and chaos, their safe place in a world that keeps shifting. So do not let doubt distract you now. Do not let past pain become a thief that steals the joy of what God is bringing. Do not let delay trick you into believing that God said no when heaven has already spoken a clear yes. Heaven said yes, and so did they. They are moving closer not because you begged, chased, or tried to prove your worth, but because their soul found peace when they thought of you, their spirit recognized you in a way they could not explain. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not a backup plan or second best. You are the answer to a long, unspoken prayer. You are the fulfillment of a quiet desire they never felt safe to admit out loud. You are the home their soul cried out for when nothing else felt right. Pause and place a hand on your chest for a moment. Do you feel that gentle stirring, that little warmth? That is not just emotion, that is confirmation. If something inside you is saying, "This is for me," then type in the comments, "I receive divine alignment," and let your spirit put language to what it already knows. Tap the like button as a public act of faith that says, "I agree with what heaven is doing." Subscribe to Angel Messages for you so you do not miss the next piece of direction God wants to send your way. And if this word is already resonating deeply, sow into it with a super thanks as a sign of honor and expectation. They asked God for a sign, and heaven did not leave them in silence. They asked again, "Is it really them? Am I imagining this?" And the answer echoed quietly, then loudly in their spirit, "Yes. Still yes. Always yes." They have never felt peace quite like this, peace that does not numb them but clears their vision. Not the kind of temporary calm that disappears when distractions show up, but the kind of peace that makes them stop running from themselves. The kind of peace that says, "This is it. This is them. This is home." In that place of peace, their heart made a quiet vow. They might not have said it where anyone else could hear it, but heaven heard. In a moment of stillness, they whispered your name. They clutched their pillow and cried because they realized they did not want to search anymore, did not want to live in guessing games, did not want to wonder if love could last this time. They wanted you. Not because you looked perfect on paper or in pictures, but because you were chosen in the spirit. Because something about your presence felt familiar before it felt romantic. Something about your spirit felt safe, like the future they were meant to walk into, not the past they were trying to run from. Even while you have been quiet, even in your stillness, their heart has been listening for you. Even when you pulled back to protect yourself, their soul continued to reach for your memory, your kindness, your prayers. Do not mistake your silence for evidence that they forgot you. Do not assume that because you haven't spoken, nothing is growing. Sometimes the deepest love is built in the quiet, when there are no words, no likes, no messages, just hearts learning, healing, and aligning. They are imagining life with you in practical, everyday ways. The way you will sit together, not rushed, not forced, but comfortable and real. The way unexpected laughter will spill out in the middle of ordinary routines. The way you will pray over each other on hard days and celebrate loudly on good ones. The way you will build something holy together. Something that feels more like purpose than performance. They are picturing the wedding, picturing vows that actually cost something, picturing the first night, the morning after, the glow in your eyes and the deep peace in their heart. They imagine the presence of God between you both, holding what you build. They are counting days, counting confirmations, counting those little divine nudges that keep pointing back to you when they try to look another way. Heaven is counting with them. Because this is not a casual romance. This is prophecy in motion. This is restoration of what the enemy tried to rob. This is resurrection of what felt dead in both of you. This is what darkness tried to delay, but God is now redeeming time in your favor. You did not miss it, you did not destroy it, you did not lose it forever. You are still on schedule because God, not regret, holds the clock. So prepare, not just waiting with crossed arms, but getting ready with intention. Dress your spirit in faith like you dress your body for an important day. Anoint your expectations with hope again like oil on something sacred. Clothe yourself in belief, even if your mind is still catching up, because what is coming will require a heart that is ready to receive. Not a heart hiding in fear. Heaven is closer than you realize, and this love is walking straight toward you with purpose. Type, "I'm ready for God's timing" in the comments if this is awakening something in your spirit. Like this video to affirm your trust in heaven's pace. Subscribe now to Angel Messages for you so you never miss what the Spirit is saying next. And if this portion of the word is piercing your heart, bless it with a super thanks as your seed of faith, because your future spouse has made their decision. It is you. It has always been you. Understand this. They did not decide overnight. This was not impulsive. This was not born out of loneliness, pressure, or fear of being alone. They prayed. They waited. They questioned everything. They told God, "If this is really you, show me again." And over in different ways, God kept leading their heart back to you. They could have chosen what was easy. They could have stayed where there was no risk, no vulnerability, no stretching required. But they didn't. They chose courage. They chose depth. They chose the person who stirred something holy inside them. They have seen your strength even on days when you felt like you were barely holding on. They have watched your faith even when you were tempted to give up completely. They sensed your purity of heart when others misread or underestimated you. They noticed your light in moments when you barely believed you were shining at all, and they simply could not turn away. Honestly, at times they wanted to. They tried. They told themselves, "This is too much, it's too intense, I don't deserve someone like that." But every time they tried to look elsewhere, their heart grew restless, like a phone stuck searching for a signal that only your soul carries. No one else reflected the same glow, no one else echoed their soul like you. You did not just enter their life, you interrupted their patterns. You disrupted their plans. You exposed what was shallow and revealed what they truly needed. It was never just attraction. It was spiritual recognition, that strange sense of, "Before I knew you, I felt you." A connection like the great love stories people quote and reference, but this time written by God, not scripted by Hollywood. It was predestined, but your silence, your hesitation, your self-protection made them pause. They were not sure if they were welcome. They were not sure if your heart was still open, still waiting, still hoping. So they stayed quiet but not disconnected. They have been watching you from a respectful distance, not crossing boundaries, not obsessing but admiring, learning, and praying. They talk to God about you more often than you would ever guess. They say, "Lord, bless them today, keep them safe. Remind them they are loved, heal what I broke, guard what I cannot see." They are learning how to love you well, not from a place of pride or control, but from a place of patience, grace, and vision. They have made their decision, and heaven heard every word of it. "I want them, I choose them. Help me be ready." In response, angels are moving, clearing paths, opening doors, tearing down lies and doubts that kept both of you stuck. This love carries assignment. This union has purpose beyond selfies, status updates, or cute moments. You are part of a breakthrough the world around you does not even see coming. God is writing this story line by line, moment by moment, with heaven's own ink, not human hype. If your spirit feels seen right now, pause and subscribe to Angel Messages for you, so you can walk step by step with what heaven is revealing. Comment, "I still believe," if your heart refuses to give up, even after everything. Tap like to receive this word fully into your spirit, and if this matches your journey, send a super thanks as an act of trust and worship. Not to buy a miracle, but to honor what God is already doing. This love is not rushed, but it also cannot be stopped. They have chosen you, and heaven is backing their choice. They did not choose you for how you look alone, even though they find you beautiful in a way that feels deeper than surface. They chose you for how you carry yourself in pain, for the way you stay kind when life is unfair. They chose you for the depth of your spirit, not just the brightness of your smile. They have seen you hold others up when nobody seemed to hold you. They have seen you pray for peace while your own world felt like it was shaking apart. They noticed that you still believed even when promises felt delayed or distant. That endurance, that quiet strength, that is what changed everything. That is what made you the one to their soul. Not perfection, not performance, not pretending. Your presence, your purity of heart, your honest battles, your hidden tears, your courage to keep trusting, this is what shook their heart awake. You did not audition. You did not chase. You did not beg. You simply were who you are, and that alone spoke louder than any performance ever could. They had options, yes, but none that brought real peace. None that made them feel fully known. None that made them dream again until you. You are not ordinary. You are not background noise. You are not just another person they talk to. You are the answered prayer they did not even know how to explain. You are the missing page in their story that finally makes the plot make sense. Your silence still speaks, though. It tells them you are protecting your peace. It tells them you have been hurt enough to build boundaries. It tells them you refuse to settle for less than God's best. And they respect that more than you know. They are afraid to disturb your stillness, afraid that showing up suddenly might feel like reopening old wounds for you. So they are learning to come gently, not to impress you, but to honor you. Heaven is preparing them emotionally, spiritually, and even practically so that when they step toward you, they come with stability, not chaos. This love is not casual, it is covenant level. Angels are watching it unfold like a sacred assignment. They know this choice is rare, so they are protecting it with new seriousness. This love carries legacy. Together you will raise prayers, build peace, walk through storms, and still come out singing. They understand exactly what they are choosing now, and they are choosing you fully. No backup plans, no just-in-case people waiting in the background, no safety nets based on fear, only faith, only surrender. They have cried over you, prayed over this, even fasted for this union, because they do not want to mishandle what is holy. They want to come right, marked by honor, clarity, and God's hand on every step and every word. Heaven smiles over this because someone finally sees you clearly, not as a project to fix, not as a prize to show off, but as purpose, as partner, as promise. If your heart feels seen, type, "I am ready for true love" in the comments. Like this video if your spirit is receiving confirmation. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you so you stay connected to every next step of this journey. And if this is stirring you deeply, send a super thanks as an offering of gratitude for what God is aligning. This is not just love, this is divine alignment. This is a choice that rewrites timelines, shifts generational stories, and brings favor and prophecy into full view with your name on it. They are not coming with disguises, masks, or charm designed to trick your discernment. They are coming with truth, with tears that prove they have felt deeply, and with timing that has been surrendered to heaven. When heaven writes the story, it does not need dramatic movie-style entrances. It needs pure hearts, willing hearts, and healed hearts, and that is what they are becoming. They are becoming what you prayed for because they finally understand that you are not just a desire or a fantasy, you are destiny. And you deserve someone who understands the weight of that. As they look back over their past, everything else feels small. None of it was worth it. None of it compares. Not the thrill, not the games, not the temporary connections that left them empty. Everything in them is shifting now, their desires, their priorities, even their sleep patterns. Because when someone like you is on the line, nothing else settles the soul. You are peace wrapped in skin. You are joy that does not perform just to be chosen. You are the kind of love that quiets fear instead of feeding it. Now they see it clearly. With every breath, with every heartbeat, their view of the world has changed because their heart is tethered to your prayers. Heaven is tugging, whispering, and confirming. They once thought they were choosing you, but truthfully, heaven chose you both for each other long before they even knew your name. Long before they met you, long before they understood why they could not move on, God placed your name inside their spirit. Now that name echoes in dreams, in songs, in conversations, in moments of silence. It is not obsession. It is recognition. Their soul finally recognizes you, and they cannot unsee what heaven has revealed. Your silence used to scare them because they worried it meant no. Now it humbles them because it reminds them that this love cannot be played with. It cannot be rushed or demanded. It must be honored. It must be approached in prayer. It must be held with open hands and surrendered expectations. They are counting days now. Not just counting the time until you reply, but counting the time until both of you are ready. They do not just want to be with you, they want to be good for you. That is why it is taking time. They are seeking wise counsel. They are removing distractions. They are turning down empty options that used to pull them in because nothing compares to the peace, the purpose, the presence they experience in connection with you. You, beloved, are not simply the one they want. You are the one heaven has confirmed that realization is shaking their world and rearranging their choices. Let your spirit agree right now. Type, "I receive this divine confirmation" in the comments if this is landing in your heart. Tap like to align yourself with God's holy timing. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you because this journey of divine union is unfolding step by step, and you are meant to walk it in awareness, not confusion. If this word stirred you, bless this moment with a super thanks, not out of pressure, but as a sign that your faith is leaning into what heaven is already doing. The angels are not just whispering about you, they are rejoicing. They have watched the pages of this story being written, your prayers rising, your breaking, and your becoming. Now they are watching love rise in its right time, not forced, not rushed, but fully known, fully felt, fully ordained. Your soulmate has made their choice, and heaven is now preparing the encounter that will bring it from spiritual confirmation into visible reality. They are ready to cross lines, the line of fear, the line of endless waiting, the line of wondering if it's too late. They have replayed every possible conversation in their mind. They have whispered your name into their pillow at night. They have asked God, "Is it really them?" And every sign keeps circling back to you, to this connection, to this moment. They cannot shake it anymore, not after so many confirmations, not after sacred dreams, not after hearing your name and feeling their spirit leap inside. Something is coming alive within them again, something bold, something holy, something they thought they had lost. This is not just romance, it is revelation. They now see who you are in the spirit, and it leaves them in awe because what they feel is not shallow crush energy. It is reverence. They are in love with the way you walk with God. They are in love with how you stayed silent when you could have reacted and exploded. They are in love with the strength it took for you to wait and not settle. They are in love with the way you carry light in a world that often feels very dark. They want to protect that light, not dim it. They want to stand beside it, not compete with it. They want to build with you, not just chase you. You are not just someone to pursue for a season. You are someone to covenant with for a lifetime, someone to choose daily. They finally see that with clarity and conviction. They tried to distract themselves, but nothing feels right anymore unless your presence is somehow part of the picture. You are their peace. You are their answered prayer. You are the turning point in their story. Heaven whispered your name while they were finally listening, and something inside them woke up. Now they are restless, not with impatient anxiety, but with hunger. Hunger to align with God's will. Hunger to obey what they have heard in their spirit. Hunger to become the version of themselves that someone like you truly deserves. You are not ordinary. You are not replaceable. And they know that now, beloved, they are preparing to confess, to show up, to lay down their pride, to finally put into words what they have carried for so long in secret. The angels say, you are safe to hope again. You are safe to feel again. You are safe to believe that this love will not pass you by. This is not fantasy. This is fulfillment. This is the manifestation of what you cried about, what you journaled about, what you almost surrendered completely. Heaven says no. You will not have to beg. You will not have to chase. You will not have to compromise. The one chosen for you has been awakened, and their steps are now being ordered carefully. They are seeking God, asking for wisdom, laying down old versions of themselves just to become the person you deserve to stand beside. Type, I receive this love with reverence in the comments if this word feels like it is describing your heart. Tap the like button as a declaration that you are aligned with heaven, not with fear. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you for continued divine insight. And if your heart is truly stirred, bless this moment with a super thanks as a prophetic seed. What's next will require your preparation, your openness, and your willingness to believe again. Heaven is not just speaking, heaven is moving. Love is no longer hiding, it is approaching you with intention and holy pursuit. They have been silent long enough. Not because they did not feel anything, not because they did not care, but because they did not want to move in the wrong spirit or wrong time. Heaven has been softening them, breaking down walls they built to survive, melting fears they hid behind. Now their soul cannot pretend anymore. They have chosen you, not just in emotion, but in clarity, in reverence, in spiritual sobriety. They ask the Lord, is this really the one I'm supposed to love for a lifetime? And every sign, even the ones they resisted, kept pointing back to you. God showed them your prayers, your anointing, your steady strength, your beauty that is so much deeper than appearance. They did not fall in love with your image. They fell in love with your resilience, your gentleness, your spirit. They admire your self-control. They marvel at your wisdom. They respect your boundaries, and believe it or not, they are grateful that you did not chase them because your stillness taught them the right way to pursue. They are counting days now, not only to see you, but to finally tell you everything, to pour out what has been stored up, to make it clear they are not confused, not playing, not testing waters. They are coming to cover you, cherish you, and one day commit to you in a way that honors God. Heaven is now backing their steps, straightening crooked paths, and preparing you both for a collision of purpose you could not have orchestrated alone. You have felt their energy. You have sensed that little tug in your spirit. You have had random moments where your heart fluttered and their name crossed your mind. That was not imagination. It was alignment. It was spiritual confirmation. They are awake now. Awake to your value. Awake to what you carry. Awake to the depth of love that has always been available with you. This time, they will not hesitate. They will not run. They will not self-sabotage what God has made clear. The angels say, "Be still. Be prayerful. Be open. What is coming is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It will not be rushed, but it will be right. It will not be flashy, but it will be holy. It will not be loud in the world's eyes, but it will be absolutely certain in your spirit." And that certainty is exactly what you have been asking God for. Comment below, "I am ready for holy certainty." If this part of the word is your personal confirmation, tap the like button if your heart is resonating with this truth. Subscribe now to Angel Messages for you and keep your spirit tuned in. Send a super thanks to seal this word in your faith if your heart is deeply moved, because angels are already ministering, preparing the atmosphere, setting the stage. Nothing, not fear, not delay, not confusion, can stop what heaven has already ordained. They did not just make a decision. They made a vow, a quiet vow, but heaven heard it. They whispered your name through tears, saying, "If we are given another chance, I will never take them for granted again. If we are brought back together, I will honor this love the way I should have the first time." That prayer did not fall flat. It rose. It reached the throne room. It echoed in heaven. This is not about random desire. It is about destiny. It is about covenant. It is about finishing what God started in both of you. They tried to shake you from their spirit. They tried to treat you like a phase, but you were never a phase. You were prophecy. You were alignment. Now the weight of what they have always known inside is pressing on them, and they cannot deny it. They are coming. Not empty-handed, not half-hearted, but with intention, with clarity, with reverence. Heaven has assigned angels to protect this journey, to guard your heart as they approach, to confirm what your spirit already knows, that this is holy, that this is heaven-approved, that this is worth trusting. They have made an exceptional choice because they chose not just your body, but your soul, not just your face, but your faith, not just your comfort, but your calling. God's promise still stands. When you do not know which way to turn, His voice says, "This is the way. Walk in it." That is what they heard in their spirit. Walk toward them, do not fear. Love them, lead with light. Now they are walking step by step, prayer by prayer, dream by dream. And soon those steps will move in your direction. Their voice will call your name. Their heart will finally speak what it has carried in silence. Their quiet will break open into truth, into love, into destiny. They may not be perfect, but they are purposed. They may not have every word polished, but they have willingness. And that is where miracles begin. So open your heart, open your spirit, open your hands and receive what heaven is arranging. Type, "I receive this divine alignment" in the comments if this is your word. Tap like as your sign of agreement with God's timing. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you if this feels painfully, beautifully personal. And if this touched your heart deeply, send a super thanks as your prophetic seal of faith. This is not fantasy. This is fulfillment. This is not a vague maybe. This is a manifestation, and the angels are already rejoicing. What once felt like a painful loss was never a final ending. It was a holy delay for greater glory. They asked God for a sign, terrified of moving without confirmation. God sent it, through a dream, through a verse, through your name whispered in a quiet moment. They have wrestled with fear, but now faith is finally winning. They spent a long time haunted by what-ifs, but now they are motivated by what is possible with God. They once hid their love in silence, but heaven has pressed them to speak, to act, to love in a way that reflects how sacred this is. You are not just a desire they had. You are the answer they prayed for. This time they are choosing you boldly, without fear, without delay, without holding back. The angels declare your soulmate has stepped into alignment, and now the river of restoration is beginning to flow. Dry places are being watered. Broken places are being rebuilt. Their heart is racing, not with panic but with purpose, because they know they have found their home in you. Not just comfort, not just chemistry, but calling and covenant. God did not just show them your beauty. He showed them your loyalty and your light, and they could not look away. They will not walk away. Even when their actions were slow or their words delayed, their spirit knew. Heaven has accelerated their surrender now. They do not want anyone else. They do not need anyone else. Their soul cries for you, and that cry has reached heaven. You have questioned. You have wept. You have wondered if it was over, but it is only just beginning. The delay was protection. The silence was preparation. Now the release is here. Heaven says, get ready, because they are moving faster than they planned, carried by a divine urgency. You are not being pursued out of emptiness. You are being pursued out of revelation. They have seen, they have known, they have chosen. They are not waiting for a perfect moment. They are partnering with God to create one, and that moment has your name on it. The angels now declare this is no longer a hidden love. This is a chosen love, a public, heaven-blessed love. So breathe again, smile again, believe again. If this word feels like it belongs to you, type I believe again in the comments. Tap like to say yes to heaven's timing. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you so you can walk into divine awareness instead of fear. And if this message moved your spirit, so a super thanks to seal it in faith. They have made their choice, and that choice is you. Chosen, loved, pursued, covered. Heaven says, prepare your heart, because they are closer than you think. They are carrying a decision that feels larger than them, but God is giving them strength to say what they have held in and to do what they were too afraid to do before. They look at your pictures, remember your words, revisit old messages, and each time they feel peace. Not confusion, not regret. That peace is how they know it is you love sent by God might stretch the soul, but it does not destroy it. You have healed them in quiet ways. Through your prayers, your patience, your unwillingness to hate them even when you hurt. The angels say they are not in love with a fantasy version of you. They are in love with who you have shown yourself to be. They have watched you grow. They have seen you worship. They have witnessed your loyalty even when you were left waiting. Now they want to cover you, to protect you, to laugh with you, cry with you, pray with you, live with you, build with you. They are done running, done doubting, done entertaining distractions that never felt right. When they close their eyes, it is your soul that visits them. In that silence, they finally realized they never want to lose you again. Heaven is stirring boldness inside of them, boldness to reach out, to break lies, to start again. But this time, start strong with prayer and with truth. You are not asking for too much. You are not expecting the impossible. What you prayed for is already preparing a place at your table. God has promised that when the time is right, He will make it happen. And beloved, heaven is whispering that the time is drawing near. This is not just love. This is alignment. This is not just emotion. This is destiny. This is not just romance. This is the fulfillment of a divine assignment on both your lives. Type I am in alignment in the comments to receive this word. Tap like to agree with what heaven has spoken. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you, so you stay in sync with God's timeline for your heart. If this confirmation made your spirit leap, sow a super thanks as your seal of faith. They have made an exceptional choice, and that choice is you. They are getting ready, getting clear, getting bold, and heaven is helping them every step of the way. Because this love was never meant to end in heartbreak. It was meant to bloom in its appointed season. They have cried more tears over this than you know, not because they doubt the love, but because they fear they waited too long, that their silence pushed you away. But heaven has not allowed your heart to turn to stone. Your angels have kept it soft, even in distance. They asked God for another chance, sure they were not worthy of a love like yours, until the Lord reminded them that you were chosen for them, not against them. They finally understand that true love is not something you just stumble upon. It is something heaven reveals. What they now see in you cannot be unseen or matched by imitations. They tried to distract themselves, tried to mute the feeling. But it only grew louder until it screamed, "Go back! Make it right! Tell them how you really feel." They remember how you spoke life into their dry seasons, how you were patient when they were unsure, how you chose